flexible budgeting problems and the class problems. In this, they're a little bit different than what you might have done in 2071. So just prepared to be flexible, okay? So the Sweeney Enterprises manufactures tires for Formula One motor racing circuit. For August 17, it budgeted to manufacture and sell 3,600 tires at a variable cost of $71 per tire and total fixed cost of $55,000. The budgeted selling price was $114 per tire. Actual results were 3,500 tires manufactured and sold at $116 per tire. Actual total variable costs were $280 and the actual total fixed costs were $51,000. And they'd like you to prepare a performance report that uses a flexible budget and a static budget. So that would mean that we would have flexible, and static. And static is your budget. Okay, actual is going to be actual quantity times actual price. Static is standard quantity times standard price, and then the flexible is going to use the actual quantity. So this will be actual quantity times standard price. Okay, and then your variances are here. Your flexible budget variance is there, and the sales volume variance would be between these two columns. So I did this, and I hope you can see it. But this is 721, and I've got an actual with my 3,500 units, flexible 3,500 units, so there's no variance in units here. And the budget has 3,600 units, so I'm 100 units under. Okay? Now I put the detail of the costs right in here. We've got 3,500 units for this is a contribution margin statement here, and we've got revenue less variable costs as a contribution margin, less fixed as operating income. So 3,500 times my 116 selling price gives me 106. Now this we had to derive. We knew that the total actual costs were 280,000. We divided that by the 3,500 actual units. My variable cost per unit was $80 per unit. Okay, so that gives us a contribution margin. Our fixed costs were 51. Operating income would be 75. Okay, then for the flexible would use the actual quantity 3,500 times the standard price 114. So 399 would have been my flexible revenue budget. Okay. 3,500 times 71. 71 is my cost. 248.5 gives us a contribution margin minus the budgeted. You want to notice that, okay? Budgeted fixed costs would be 95.5. And here are all of our budgeted numbers on the side. We got 114 times 3,600 is 410. 400. That would have been our budgeted sales with a volume of 3,600 units. 71 times 3,600, there's our variable cost. Contribution margin less fixed cost is 99.8. Okay, so then when you take it apart, when you look at the differences between these two, I didn't leave enough room in here, okay? So this difference between 399 and 406 is 7,000 favorable. 280 minus 248 is 31,500 unfavorable. Okay, so that's a big deal. And you can see here that we've got a budgeted price of $71 per unit, and it came in at 80. So that's a big piece of our variance. And we've got $4,000 favorable variance in fixed costs. Now to look at the sales volume variance, we have 11,400 unfavorable, okay, for sales, but that's, most of that is because we're down 100 units. We got 100 unfavorable units, and then our cost though is favorable. So we spent, no, it's only favorable because of less units. It's just volume driven because the price is the same in both cases. It's just volume, so it's strictly a volume variance. 4,300 unfavorable is our sales volume variance. So the part of the variance, because we sold less, it's interesting, sold less than we planned, is $4,300. Okay. Am I going in the right direction? I am. Okay. So 4,300 is the sales volume variance. 20,500 is our flexible budget variance. And this is unfavorable, and that's unfavorable, so the total would be 24,800, which is the difference between our actual and static or budget. Is 24,800 unfavorable, total static budget variance. Okay, but a piece of it is due to the flexible budget shows us that what happened was we sold it for more. We sold it for $116 per unit where we planned $114. Okay, so this is favorable. That's good, but less units, you know. And then, but our costs were $80 per unit, and we planned on $71. And then we've got this favorable fixed budget variance. So if we wanted to summarize, what we learned from this is that 100 less units sold resulted in an $11,400 unfavorable, we could say, sales volume variance. Okay, and then the fixed costs are $4,000 less than planned, so that's just a favorable variance. And expenses were much higher than planned by $31,500. Okay, and that is shown in our flexible budget variance. But it's a pretty big number, 31.5. Why not 24.5? Where did I get 31.5? I think this is 24.5. Yeah. 24.5. Goodness knows. Okay. I'll put the solution up too so you can look at it without the conversation, and that might help.